Even more remarkable, though, when we start talking about the demographics of the slave trade and the slave trade experience and its impact on the Western Hemisphere and its development, is the fact that the African peoples constituted the majority of the people who came from the old world to the new world. According to several sources, between 1492 and 1776, or roughly the first 300 years of what we understand to be the colonial period of American history, 1492, the Columbus voyages, to 1776, 6.5 million people crossed the Atlantic from Africa and Europe and settled in the Americas, North, Central, and South America, and the Caribbean. Of those 6.5 million people, only 1 million were European. The other 5.5 million were African. Most of the histories that we have been written from a colonial perspective, from the perspective of the minority of the population, from the perspective of the institutional histories of those, without taking into account any of the economic, political, and social consequences of this simple demographic fact. So those of us who are involved in the study of the African diaspora and the African experience are really faced with two sets of challenges. Intellectual challenges. One of them is to set the record straight about the African experience in the Western Hemisphere. But the second, and of equal significance, is we're faced with the challenge of rewriting in a fundamental way the history of the Americas. Because if, indeed, 2/3 or more of the peoples of the Western Hemisphere have not been included in the history, then we don't know very much about the history.